Life is brief. Approach everything as though it were the action or thought of a dying person, Marcus suggests. I find Marcus Aurelius to be perhaps the most captivating individual to have ever lived. We often believe that absolute power inevitably leads to corruption, but Marcus defies this notion. He does not hail from a royal lineage. Instead, he was selected as a young man, at the same age as Nero, and groomed for authority. And what does he do when he attains power? He shares it with his brother. One of my favorite anecdotes about Marcus Aurelius occurs during the depths of the Antonine Plague, a devastating pandemic claiming the lives of millions. Rome's economy is in shambles, people are perishing on the streets, and hope seems elusive. What does Marcus Aurelius do? He strolls through the imperial palace, tagging items for sale. For 2 months, he auctions off jewels, robes, and couches on the palace lawn, possessions once reserved for the emperor. His actions carry a powerful message. I shall not prioritize myself. I have no need for these extravagant possessions when others are suffering. He proclaims, I shall engage in small acts that make a difference to me. This is akin to a CEO taking a pay cut during an economic downturn, or an athlete renegotiating their contract to enable the team to recruit new talent. It exemplifies a leader who sacrifices and perseveres, placing the well-being of the people above personal comfort and desires. This is the essence of greatness, and it is why I adore this story about Marcus Aurelius. There is always an alternative path. You are not trapped, despite what you may think. The Stoics aim to remind you that while one route may be blocked, another remains open. The very hindrance that obstructs progress can become the catalyst for advancement. Marcus Aurelius does not assert that nothing can impede you. Rather, he emphasizes that when one avenue is closed, various other capacities are available. You perpetually possess the opportunity to practice virtue, pursue excellence, and adapt in accordance with the circumstances. We do not control what unfolds. We solely govern our responses. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy. So yes, a path may be barred, a door may be shut, but a window always remains ajar. Yes, someone may obstruct your path, block your way, or hinder your progress. Such instances undoubtedly occur. However, they cannot prevent you from exercising patience, practicing forgiveness, or embarking on a different trajectory. They cannot impede you from altering your perspective, exploring new possibilities, growing, and learning. According to the Stoics, no one possesses the power to hinder us from adjusting, adapting, transforming, and integrating the experiences and obstacles that come our way, forging them into new paths. That is the fundamental principle of the obstacle is the way. It is impossible to become truly stuck because our ability to choose and change always remains intact. Take it one step at a time. We know what needs to be done, don't we? We possess the information. The challenge lies in taking action. Marcus Aurelius advises, you could be virtuous today, yet you choose tomorrow. We procrastinate. We declare, I'll start the diet, I'll begin writing the novel, I'll clean the house, just not today. I'll do it tomorrow. If knowledge alone determined outcomes, no one would struggle with weight or health. Everyone would boast sculpted abs, and every project would reach completion. We comprehend the process. The issue is our failure to act. That's precisely why the Stoics emphasize the discipline of action. Ultimately, it's not about what we say or think, it's about what we do. What actions will you take? What steps will you embark upon? That's how things are accomplished, through gradual progress. Just take that initial step. Marcus Aurelius declares, no one can impede you from doing so. Release your anxiety. It necessitates profound self-awareness to acknowledge, I feel uneasy due to X, or I'm anxious because of X. Personally, I discovered this during the pandemic. Suddenly, I wasn't engaged in numerous activities. I no longer endured commutes or prepared for various obligations. One might assume that my anxiety would decrease significantly, given the reduced demands on my plate. Yet that assumption proved inaccurate. It became apparent that my anxiety had nothing to do with external factors. Rather, it resided within me. Mark Twain expressed a similar sentiment in Meditations when he stated, I escaped anxiety, and then corrected himself, asserting, no, I discarded it. He penned these words amidst a plague. This realization marked a breakthrough for me. I had assumed that stress, anxiety, and worries stem from the reasonable challenges of life, work, family matters, and the like. However, as those factors diminished, I realized that the source of anxiety was internal. It was me. A good start leads to halfway accomplishment. I assure you, Marcus Aurelius has a more effective morning routine than you. Despite his reluctance and a lack of obligation, he rises early. He compels himself to get out of bed, questioning, were you meant to linger under the covers, keeping warm? Or were you meant to engage in the work of a human being? He embraces the early hours, engaging in his tasks. I believe he begins by sitting down with his journal. Meditations have been preserved, capturing the private musings of the most influential man in the world. He documented these thoughts because they contributed to his personal growth. And then he proceeded to tackle his most crucial task of the day. He advised, focus like a Roman, and encouraged approaching each endeavor as if it were the final act of one's life. That's what Marcus Aurelius did. His morning routine laid the foundation for success. He didn't approach the day haphazardly. He recognized the significance of a well-commenced undertaking, as it accounts for half of its achievement. Therefore, you too should begin your day with a morning routine that allows you to seize the day from its inception. Exercise strictness with yourself. It's referred to as self-discipline for a reason. No one else volunteered for this task but you. When it comes to your learning, study, and personal development, it's crucial to ensure that you apply self-discipline exclusively to yourself. Marcus Aurelius advises, be tolerant towards others, but strict with yourself. The ultimate purpose of these efforts is to enhance your self-mastery. It should not result in condescension, patronization, or attempting to control others. Remember, self-discipline pertains to your own actions. Let others be accountable for their mistakes and their preferred methods of doing things. Don't hold grudges against people. Marcus Aurelius wasn't fond of people. Reading Meditations makes it evident. He begins Meditations with a reflection on the frustration and annoyance caused by others. Even the concept of the obstacle is the way relates to other individuals, how they obstruct our path and present challenges. However, he points out that within these obstacles lies an opportunity to practice the philosophy you claim to believe in, to remain virtuous despite others, to act justly in the face of injustice, to exhibit moderation when faced with excess, and to show courage when others display cowardice and are rewarded for it. So, while people can be frustrating and pose as obstacles, they also provide us with a chance for growth. Instead of harboring resentment, use them to become better. Ask yourself, is this necessary? We're all occupied, always busy. But how much of our busyness truly matters? Marcus Aurelius suggests questioning the importance of everything you do and say. Because truthfully, most of our actions and words are not essential. We engage in them because of requests or expectations, or simply because it's the way things have always been done. But if you were to discover that you had only one day to live, would you continue doing those things? Would you approach them the same way? Most likely not. Therefore, he advises that by asking yourself, is this necessary? You can eliminate many unnecessary tasks. And in doing so, you can focus on fewer activities, but perform them better. This is why you should incorporate this question into everything you do, say, and think. Remember these guiding principles. Firstly, amor fati. It wasn't something that happened to you, but for you. Fate selected it for you. Embrace it, accept it, carry it, and transform it into something meaningful. That's the essence of amor fati. Marcus Aurelius states, a fire converts everything into fuel and light. That's amor fati. Secondly, it's about your actions toward others. Marcus Aurelius highlights that the ultimate outcome of this life is building good character and performing acts that benefit the common good. Stoics didn't study philosophy to become better selfish individuals or accumulate wealth and fame. It was about what they contributed to others. Are you making a positive impact on your community, your nation? Are you advancing humanity? Finally, memento mori. This puts the previous two principles into perspective. You could leave this life at any moment, as Marcus rightly says. Let this awareness guide your actions, words, and thoughts. Life is fleeting. Approach everything as if it were the last action or thought of a dying person. The pandemic has reminded us of life's fragility. So, make the most of the time you have. Seize the day. These are 3 invaluable lessons from Stoic philosophy that you can apply immediately.